Hold on. All right, so we are live. Hold on 1 second. Let me get myself together over on this side of the.
Okay.
Hold on, Facebook and Jean. Go out, go out. Right here. Let me find us. Here we are. And wait, before I do that, I gotta go back. And let me take the privacy off. I have to have my stuff on private because I have, perpetrators be on here showing out too, Eric. I be having a deal.
Oh, I know all about the privacy.
So, hello everyone. I told you all I was coming back. I was able to get Eric J on the set with me. We are live, and this is Eric J, the one. I call him the street journalist. I don't know. I'm the street journalist. But as I was telling you in my previous live, that Eric J has a platform. It's called Eric J, the Street News. Right?
Eric J Street News.
Eric J Street News. Take the out. It's Eric J Street News. And I've been following Eric J on social media for a minute. His commentary is so on point, and the voice. He has a voice. I got to tell you that. And I always like when this is not, say the thing you say when you first come on.
Oh my God. How you gonna put me on the spot like that? I'll say it before we end the live.
Okay. So Eric, listen, I'm sorry that I'm just listen. We family now. So you done came on the set. We family now. We done met in person. No longer am I behind the scenes watching your videos and seeing the content that you put out is amazing. First, let me ask you, are you in journalism? Are you a reporter? Was that a major?
No, I actually I went to school for audio engineering. Okay. I had a little scholarship to go to school for audio engineering, and I really should have went for filmmaking. But it's like I always thought the only way to tell a story was if you was doing music, because I never seen anybody else tell a story any different way besides being on a beat, So I didn't even know, like, journalism, like, it's so new to me. Even though it seems like I've been doing it for a while, it's very new to me. Like, I didn't know you can have a voice outside of doing music.
Oh, okay.
And it's, yeah.
Eric, you got me. I'm just gone because the way your videos come on, it grabs. You could be. It's almost like the real news, and that whole the way it come on. I'm like, oh, what they talking about today? And your commentary. I think I specifically like. I'm gonna tell you. I like when you begin to talk to the audience, in a sense, when you give those shots of wisdom, and it's, I'm gonna say, it's knowledge. When you give that part, I'm like, this brother here is how the kids say, they won't.
Yes.
So how long you been doing this?
I've been doing it 2 years. And I actually started, it's weird how it started. Like, I drive trucks or whatever. So I had a lot of alone time and stuff like that in the truck or whatever. And I seen this story about the little girl from Houston. I think her name was like Malaya. And I remember like watching it like everybody else. And I remember like seeing her parents on the news. And I was just like, I wonder anybody else feels like this parent is lying or whatever, because the story just didn't add up. And I feel like when it comes to kids, we don't put that extra effort into investigating what happened, you
Right.
know, and I wanted to do that, and street news is, my opinion, is never really popular. I mean, in my inbox, I get so much, so many, like, I get a lot of threads, or, it's like, hey man, you're not supposed to be speaking about that, or hey man, what happens in the house supposed to stay in the house, but that's why this happens so much. I got an inbox today from, a female, her and her brother, had been getting raped since they was 4. I think she was 4 and he was 5. They both were getting raped, and a lot of times in those situations, the mother is telling them, hey, keep this in the house. Nobody's supposed to know about what's going on in here. And that's the wrong thing to tell a child, because
Exactly.
that child will eventually grow up, and that child grows up and they have all kind of trauma, they have all kind of problems, all kind of trust issues, feeling like they can't talk to nobody because that's how they was raised. And keeping everything bottled up and to you, that's not the right thing to do. So in my stories, I make sure I tell the people, whoever listening, like, hey, look, I don't care who told you to keep that to yourself. You don't have to keep that to yourself. Say something. If you don't feel comfortable enough to talk to your parents that's in the house, talk to one of your friends. You don't feel like you could talk to just talk to somebody, but don't hold that in.
That's some deep stuff. I mean, I'm going back to the 2 that contact you in your inbox, and
Yeah.
with them, they were able to, what they were saying, thank you for what you do.
They're telling me thank you for creating a platform. It's like a lot of people like that feel like it's just them. They feel like what happened to them is only happening to them. And it leads a lot of people to commit suicide because they feel like they're so different. And they're not different. It's happening to other people too. It's just they not talking about it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's
Yes.
like, when we don't talk about these things, you start making people feel like they're isolated. And I had said that in one of my commentary. I'm like, you're not going through nothing that somebody else haven't overcame already. But
Right.
you will never know that because you're keeping it to yourself,
Exactly.
And
Yes.
my thing is to, let's start talking about it.
And you're doing a fantastic job. A
Thank you.
fantastic
Thank you.
job. I'm telling you. I'm when I look at out, I make sure, I'm gonna be honest. I probably watch your videos probably twice a day. I wake up in the morning, I look and see if you put anything up.
Mhm.
For real. And I'm like, if it's dealing with child molestation, rape, all of that, I'll sit there and I'll watch it all the way through. But when it gets to the ones that the murders and stuff, sometimes
Yeah.
I'm moved, in my
Yeah.
emotions. And I'm
Yeah.
like, man, we got to do better with protecting these children. Like,
Yes.
before it gets to a point of that, I mean, something could have been prevented. Someone could have had to see something.
Yes.
And
Agreed.
have you had a chance to meet any of the persons you reported on?
A lot of people that I done reported on then reached out to me like, hey, that's me in the video. That video you just posted, that's me standing in the background. And that things like that make me take it even more serious, because it's real people that you're talking about. And this is real people who have real families. That's why, when sometimes, I have a lot of people that'll reach out to me and they'll try to tell me their story, but I don't like to get caught up in the he say, she say stuff, so I kind of like, and one thing you'll probably notice is a lot of my stories, most of them are like older.
Mhm.
I'm not that person that have to have breaking news. You know, I like to sit, I like to wait till all the facts are out. I like to read through the reports. I read through autopsies. I go through the medical examiner reports. I love this, you know, and I feel like everybody has a voice. Everybody's story should be told. And, you know, I get that a lot too. Like, why are you talking about this story? You know, this child been dead 2 years ago. So she
Right.
doesn't matter anymore. You know, and that's our culture. It's we just move forward. We don't care who get left behind. We don't care how they get left behind. It's all about what's next. And it's like sometimes you have to bring it back
Yes.
because we're
Remind
constantly
people.
repeating the same thing over and over again.
Right. And if I think with your commentary and the stories that you put out, it gives, it's an educational piece. I take it as, because a lot of things that you say to the mothers, you know, about the relationship, I be sitting back, I'm like, this is so on point. And I'm like, this young man is wise in his ways. I'm like just seeing and hearing, you know, what you put out and how you speak to the parents, whether it's a female or a male, and the wisdom that you've given them. I'm like one of them, you like, you said something to the mother of like, don't be having all these different men in your house with these children.
Yeah, you're confusing your child. You're confusing your child. You know, kids, I still believe that we are our kids' first superhero. They look up to us first before they start to go off and look at, and you know, most kids listen to who they want to be like. You know, they don't want to be like their parents. Parents can't tell them nothing.
Right.
You know, there's nothing you're doing. I don't want to be like you. So I don't feel like I need to take your advice. You know, and I just think like I'll share something with you. One of the reasons I feel like it's so like trying to figure out how can I say this or whatever. I'll say like as a kid, I was confused, right? Like I grew up wanting to be exactly like my dad. You know, I just thought that, you know, my dad, he didn't have many friends, he lived by himself. And, you know, by the time I was born, my mom and my dad were already divorced. But him and my mom had a nice relationship. You know, so me growing up, I didn't want to be married. You know, I'm praying to God. I'm like, God, I want a daughter, and you know, I want a nice relationship with, you know, my daughter's mother or whatever, but I don't want to, you know, marry her or whatever. Not thinking that you should want that. But as a kid, I'm going by what I see, and I'm going by what I think is working or whatever. But you shouldn't strive for that as a kid. You should want to bring a child up in a two-parent household, you know, but sometimes when you don't have that to see, you know, when you don't see that as a child, you don't think those things are possible. Like I was telling you about journalism. I didn't know journalism was possible. I don't know anybody who does journalism. Everybody I know raps. So I'm thinking the only way that I could make it is rap. But the minute I moved from Louisiana and came to Dallas, I started seeing different people doing different things. People are dressing a certain way. You know, everything is just different. And now my mind is just like, I could try that, you know, and I just think it's life. So we have to have examples around our children. You know, and that's how I am with my daughter. My daughter would never meet women, you know, I would never bring her around that because I know what that could do to her. Seeing my dad do this and do that and do this and do that. I don't want you to think that that's cool.
Right.
It's not cool.
So you pretty much, the things that you speak of in your videos, that's how you are. That's
really how I am. I don't curse in my videos. Nobody could pull
Nope.
up one street news where I've called a black woman, any woman or any man out of their name. I don't curse because I don't curse in my real life. So I don't get on Instagram and become this different person where I'm cursing, I'm disrespect. I don't do that in real life. So I don't do it on camera. This is really who I am. When I'm in my commentary and I'm listening, that's really me.
Yeah.
You know,
You be like, listen.
that's really that's really who I am. Like, that's not a made up character. That's not somebody that's who I am as a person. And that's how I think as a person. You know, the story that I did last night, you know, it kind of rubbed a few people the wrong way because, you know, it was my stance that I took on the mother in the situation. You know, I feel like if your child is being called racial names, you know, being beat up, being bullied, and this been going on for over a year, and those same kids who's doing that to him invite him to a sleepover, and they do that to him while y'all at a sleepover, it's almost like, what did you think would happen? You know, like, did you think like, okay, well, maybe they just mean to him at school, but if they catch him off campus, they'll be nice to him. Like, things like that, you know, and it's like, let's talk about that. You know, let's not get, because see, sometimes it's like we could get caught up on small things. You know, well, let's not get caught up on the fact that he called him the N-word because he's been calling him the N-word for over a year. So let's not get stuck right there. Let's figure out why they got access to him. They shouldn't have never had access to that child.
Exactly.
Let's talk about that.
Exactly. And I don't think parents or persons of, I don't think they look at the whole picture. You know, we look for an instant gratification or an instant solution or an instant, you know, and just thinking that the parent probably say, oh, this might be a time for them to get to know each other and it'll build some relationship or something. And just totally read that all wrong. But if you had not done anything all the other times, you know, what make you think it will be any different? For real.
Yeah. And I was trying to think like through the child's mind, like, was he afraid to go? Because I would think like I would be afraid. You know, if I've been getting bullied by these kids at school, I would be afraid to be alone with these kids. So it's like, you know, did you want to go? You know, those are just things that I think about. And like I say, you would never catch me calling someone stupid or whatever, because that's not what it's about. But because it's really just, again, let's talk about it. Like, why did we do that?
So you might see people coming on the screen. These are Hosanna for Youth board members that are coming on, and they are the only ones that have the invite to you. So as Eric is speaking, if you all want to chime in, you may do so. But while he's speaking, mute your phones. And if you're ready to speak, unmute your phones and you can talk with him as well. Okay. So when I saw Eric J on, you know, Street News, and I'm looking at you and I see the gold teeth and I'm like, is he a reporter? You know, it get me a little bit, you know, I'm like, I wonder if he went, you know, he went to school to be a reporter, and it went a different way. You grilled up and go ahead.
You know what's funny though? I've had these goals forever, but back in 2006, I was working at the prison. I was working at a prison, and the warden, during the interview, he after the interview was over, he was like, "Hey, you know you're gonna have a hard time working here, right?" And I said, "Why is that?" He said, "Because you look just like 90% of the inmates that work here." It was funny, but it was very true, you know, and I didn't know what led me to want to work at a prison, or, it's just like one day I'm just like, I want to go work at a prison, gold teeth, all of this stuff. And that was the best decision I ever made,
Wow.
because I was around people that was doing the same exact thing that I was doing. The only difference between me and them was they got caught and I didn't.
Right.
And those guys would like talk to me, and like some guys would be like, man, like if I had a second chance to do it, I would take the same route that you did. And I got a chance to see the world from their perspective. During the summertime, they got frogs inside of their cells. You got guys getting bit by spiders and they treating them as boils, and seeing guys die from going on hunger strike in the prison, and the officers are not documenting how long it's been since they ate, and these guys are dying, their sugars are dropping too low because they haven't ate in 3 days, and it's like seeing that, it kind of like gave me restraints almost, to not go, because it's like if I go that far, I know what to expect. It's not like somebody that's like committing a crime and have no idea what's on the other side. I seen what's on the other side. I don't want no part of what's on the other side.
Yeah.
I've talked to those guys. Those guys don't want to be on that side, So it gave me like just a different perspective. And I worked there 2.5 years. And before I was at the adult prison, I worked at the juvenile prison. And it was just it was the same thing. And I met so many kids in the juvenile prison that didn't commit crimes. And what I mean by that, they had this guy, he was 12 years old when he was there, but they had gave him juvenile life. And his sister actually killed her boyfriend and asked him to take the rap, because if he took it, the worst thing could happen to him is he could get juvenile life and be out at 21. And if she do it, she go to prison for the rest of her life. So you have a lot of people taking advantage of kids in that way. And it's like a lot of people don't, it's just like a different world. And, it's things like that was an eye opener to me, talking to some of these kids who, the only thing they was promised was, if you do this, I'm gonna send you some tennis shoes. I'm gonna put that's not worth what you're giving up.
Right.
The years you're about to lose inside of this jail, those shoes,
Can't get it back.
It's not worth it. And those are just, I've seen so much, and it just shaped and molded me just in different ways.
Mm-hmm. Which helped develop you into this era, which is the perfect time, with social media being as hot as it is, people being on board and following and seeing, because everybody want to hear, they'll look and listen, this the thing now, they may not do nothing, but they'll
Right.
look and listen, so it's the perfect era for this. And the thing that I like, something that you said was you didn't get caught. That's my story too. But everybody got that.
That's almost everybody. It's just like, that's why it's like nobody's perfect. It's like, bro, like I'm just like you. I'm probably not doing what you're doing now, but I'm just like you.
Mm-hmm.
So, because, and sometimes you have to let a person know that, because that's what kind of stop a lot of people from talking to some people, because they feel like you can't relate to them. Right. So sometimes you have to let a person know, like, hey, I can relate. I know I've been there. Mm-hmm. I've done that.
And that's all the transparency. I mean, I talk about being authentic and transparent, and that's how I live my life. All the things that was the past, I use that now to help people so that they can move forward from that point, because at some point they get stopped with they say, and them say, and all that say, and I have to help them erase that barrier so they can move forward. And it's just like a hindrance.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize listening to or sharing communication about what you've been through authentically. Don't lie. I'm just putting it out there because, Eric, I have to keep it real. They know that's how I roll. You don't have to lie and make up no stories. It's people who have lived it, seen it, been through it, and they're willing to share with you so that you don't have to go that route, because you might not get the same outcome.
That's very true.
Excuse me.
That's very, very true.
You may not get the same outcome. And it's all about being a better person, being better with yourself. And what we end up here at Hosanna, a lot of the clients that we have that come to us for services, they don't have hope, because they don't have no support. And when you're looking at situations like this, where you have Eric J doing street news, he's showing you different scenarios of things people don't went through. And then he comment on what his understanding of it all. And it be some good stuff. And then you have Hosanna for Youth here that's giving you good stuff to move past your pain or move past whatever it is that's hindering you. It's all it's not to make you feel any less of a person, but to help you become a better person. And I think people miss that because, I don't know. I just don't understand why, we would tend to close our eyes, remain silent, and not help in a sense. I don't understand why they do.
I think that's the safe way. I just think it's safe to I just think people think it's just safe to just mind your own business. But it's not the right thing to do. Look, probably like 2 months ago, I had left my lights on my truck, right? And my battery died. And this guy that was parked next to me, he had some jumper cables or whatever. So I didn't want to ask for help and he didn't want to give help. So I finally asked him, I was like, hey, can you give me a jump? And he froze for a second. And I could tell like he was thinking about it. Like, should I say yes? Should I say no? So he finally done it. But after he done it, he told me, I went on and told him, I said, I really appreciate it. And the reason I told him that, because I could see that he really didn't want to do it. And then he said, hey, man, you know what? I feel crazy because I wanted to help you. But my dad told me, never give nobody a jump, and he was like, I was thinking to myself, like, this dude need help. But my dad told me, don't help him. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why did my dad tell me, not to help somebody if they stranded? And it's just like, we don't know, sometimes we just we just raised this way. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to change because our mom and our dad, they have a stronghold on us. Even though sometimes it could be wrong, but that's our mama, that's our dad. So it's just like, I don't know why I'm like this. It's just, my mama told me to be like this or whatever. And, it bothered him because it's like, I know this person need help and I could help him, but my dad told me don't help nobody. And I don't know why we're like that. I really don't know why.
I just, on the previous live, it's funny that you say that. On the previous live, that's one of the points that I was trying to get at with them, saying that, a lot of us, because I was a teen mom, and a lot of us, just because I'm saying that I was a teen mom, I'm admitting that I was a broken little girl having sex with no guidance,
Mhm.
And I became a broken mom to a little girl that I couldn't guide. Does that make sense?
Mm.
So
Mhm.
I was telling them that, and I say automatically people think that because a female could push a baby out, that once that baby comes out, she's a mom. You
Not that
understand what I'm
simple.
saying? Did you
Right.
catch that? They
Yeah.
think because that girl or that woman gave birth, that now has taken her into a different realm and that she's a mom. No, she's still that same broken woman that got a responsibility that she ain't gonna be able to move past the point of who she was when she laid down 9 months prior.
Yeah.
So it's got to be some type of tool or teaching or whatever, or the cycle just keeps repeating itself until
Yeah.
you have that person stand up and say accountability. That's the word that's missing in all of accountability. When you become accountable for your actions, who you are, you know, then you can say, okay, wait a minute, I got some little things I need to get together. I need to learn this. So you can learn to be a better mom, or find the definition of a mom, because
Mhm.
just because your mother or your grandmother told you this is how you do it, it's not always right, like Eric J just said.
It's not.
And
I not to cut you.
no, you're good.
This is another. This is like one of the strangest things that happened to me while working at the prison. They had this guy or whatever, and he was, you know how people always talk about Bubba, big Bubba gonna get you or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, he was Bubba. He was the guy that would, you know, catch the young boys and do whatever to them or whatever. And I knew that's what, you know, he would do, but it was something about him too that was like very, very different. Almost as if, you know, I have to be like this or whatever. So one day we was talking or whatever, and I just asked him, like, why do you do that? You know, like, why do you do that? And he said, I'm 62. When I came to prison, I was 19 years old. I was one of the youngest guys in the maximum security. And every day, guys would come at me trying to do it to me. So I didn't want to be a sheep surrounded around wolves. So I decided, you know what? Instead of them coming at me, I'm gonna go at them. You know, almost like this, you got this new defense mechanism or something like that. So it's like you're hurting people out of fear that you might be hurt.
Yeah.
And you're doing it so much now to it's like you're making it, people try to normalize bad behavior all the time.
Ooh, you said a
And
mouthful.
that's pretty much, you know, like I get what they was trying to do to you, but you can't normalize that. You know, you can't make that okay, you know? And I just been around so many people, you know, and just I done had so many different conversations with people. And a lot of times people do things to get by. And sometimes the things that they do to get by might be the wrong thing.
Exactly. Exactly. Now I'm gonna quote you on that. People try to normalize bad behavior.
They
I
do all
mean,
the time.
because they do it in the families, they do it on their jobs, they do it
Yeah.
in the. I mean, it's time. You know, I think a while ago, Hosanna had said, you know, someone said, oh, you know, they like sweeping stuff under the rug. I say, well, Hosanna here to pull up the rug. You
Right.
know, we finna pull up the rug, and my for profit, my real job is, you know, I have a cleaning company, so we
Mhm.
finna clean it. You know,
Right.
so they sick of me down here in South Florida because I won't stop. I won't
Right.
shut up about it because everything is, it's not, I'm not going to normalize bad behavior just because it was my cousin or my
Yeah.
nephew or my brother. I'm not normalizing it. I'm just the same energy I put into a stranger or someone that has been impacted, you know, I'm going to put that same energy into my family. I'm not going to sit back like we have done for a very long time in families all around and just be quiet about it. We're not doing that no more because the more we stay quiet, somebody's hurting. The longer we stay quiet, that gives the perpetrator the energy to move freely. And that means while he's moving freely, that means he's messing with somebody else somewhere, you know. So no, you're 100% correct. People do try to normalize it and it ain't happening no more. No more. So that's why I like your segment.
Yes. It's but I like the direction that street news is going in. Like I say, it's sometimes I do have to take like a mental break
Yeah, I
because
was gonna ask you how you deal.
I take a break. I take breaks because and some listen, the majority of the stuff that I receive, I can't even post. You know, my channel will probably get flagged if I posted everything that, you know, people sent me. And a lot of times, you know, people think that, you know, I'm just searching for all of these stories. A lot of these stories get sent to me, you know, and and then I do my research on them and stuff like that. But yeah, I need a break every now and then and just because I don't want to become desensitized. I don't want to
Right,
see so much of this stuff to the point it don't bother me.
right.
I don't want that. So to me, as long as it's bothering me, it's actually motivating me.
I
You
like
know.
that. I like
So
that. You hear that, Queen Body? As long as it's bothering you, it's motivating you.
yeah,
I like
and
that.
that's what motivates me to, make a video. How you
Thank you.
doing?
So
He's
a lot, as long as
speaking my
it's, huh?
I say he's speaking my language.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I saw Tangela on here earlier. I'm glad y'all on here. Tangela came on and I saw she was in. Oh, there she go. I can't hear you. You on
Man,
mute?
I'm doing laundry, so I ain't want y'all to see the little, the washout.
You fine. Thank you for tuning in. This is good. I'm telling you, to have Eric J and I connect. I mean, I'm just floored.
And this is the first interview I've ever done. I've been asked to do a lot of interviews. I don't do interviews with no. I don't do interviews. I've been asked to do a lot of interviews, and I've never done one before.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you. Now thank you.
and
So
I'm glad I did. I'm glad I
I'm
did.
glad you did too,
Yeah.
because it's like when I don't know, when I watch you on social media, I never knew where you were located,
Yeah.
and I reached out to you a while ago and we didn't connect. And I came back around, I was like, okay, you know what? I still got his number. Let me shoot him something and say, hey, yay, let's see what's happening. And now to have you here, I'm just honored. I mean, I'm into all the videography and the things, and I'm trying to learn how to come in and do our segment a lot better, because you see other people with live podcasts, they got this coming in, that going out, all these good things. I'll get there. But I think content matters. When you're talking about good stuff, then people will watch it and people will tune in to see. And what with you, when I saw you talking about the children, that's what got me, because I was stuck. I was like, when I deal with the cases we deal with, I have to take that break. you know,
Yeah.
like you say. And I'll go off. I'm out in nature. I'm out swimming. I'm out somewhere out under the sun. And I come back and I'm refreshed and I'm able to go some more. But when I saw that you and what you were talking about, I'm like, I gotta connect with him. I need to know what got him to this point, that the children mattered, that he wanted to give light to it, you know, give it a voice, allow people to see that this is happening, because we are alive, but most of us got our eyes closed, walking blindly.
Exactly. And I wanted to do exactly that. I wanted to shine a light on what people just wasn't talking about. And I just, to me, it's just real important. And I just felt like nobody's talking about it. You know, and it's like the examples that the kids are having, like kids are looking forward to all of the wrong stuff, you know, and I just, like I said, when I seen that, I think the first video I did was the Malaya girl. And after that, I just started seeing more and more kids that this was happening to. And I was just like, why the news don't talk about this? And people started asking me like, hey, I never knew this happened. Where did this happen at? This wasn't on the news and this in my city, but I never seen this on the news. And I just felt like I just took it as my job. Like I call street news my job. I tell everybody that this is my second job, and I took it that serious, and I embodied it, and I tell people that too when they want to start a business. You have to embody your business. You have to become your business.
Yeah.
I'm Eric J Street News on Facebook. I'm Eric J Street News on Instagram. Eric J Street News on Instagram, Snapchat. I'm Eric J Street News on YouTube. You have to embody whatever it is. Your business. Like nobody should know your business better than you.
Ooh, yes.
I'm with my business every day, so that's my second job.
I'm sorry, Eric. Can you repeat that again, please?
I don't know what part was it though. If it's the embodying your business part, but you have to, like I see so many people that want to like start businesses, but they don't because they mom don't support it or they brothers don't support it. And I tell everybody, like your friends, your mama, your best friends, they gonna be the last people to support you. They gonna support you when they start seeing everybody else take you serious. That's when they coming. They not coming in the beginning. And so many people have all of these good ideas, and then they tell their ideas to somebody who don't even have ideas. You have all of these big dreams. You want to be, man, I want to be an architect. But you go tell it to somebody who don't even know what an architect is. So the first thing they tell you is, they'll tell you to be something that they is. Man, you better try to go get you a job, a regular job somewhere. But that's not what you want. And it's not that you being an architect is a bad thing. You're just telling it to the wrong people. And a lot of times we get chopped down. Like we so excited, man, I just left church, man. They told me I could be, no, well, you still a sinner. It's always somebody that's going to chop you down. And you have to know who you are. I tell people, I was making street news videos when nobody was looking at them. When I was getting 4 views, I was still making my videos. That didn't stop me from, I was making videos when my friends wasn't sharing them. Because I know what I want to do and I see where I'm going already. And it's like if you don't see where you're trying to go, you're gonna stop. If you only making Hosanna videos to please this person, when that person don't clap for you, you're gonna stop and try to go do something else. You got to be willing to do it when nobody's paying attention to you, when nobody's clicking the like button, nobody's commenting. You still gotta say, tomorrow making another video.
Yes.
I'm telling you what I did.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is exactly what I did. And like I say, nobody supporting, but it doesn't matter because I see where I'm trying to go. And in my mind, I done already made it there.
Yes.
So all of this stuff that's happening in between don't even matter to me.
Yes.
I know where I'm going. I know what I want out of life,
Yes.
Eric,
and
speak.
He's the street lyricist or the street preacher. He ain't the street news. I'm taking that away. Man, you ride no straight wisdom, Eric. I
and
like
it's
it.
funny because the inmates used to call me rule book because I memorized I memorized the whole rule book. And the inmates be like, man, Sergeant Rule Book right there, and that's just how I am when I'm in something. Like I really embody it. Like I become it, and I'm not gonna do it halfway.
Right.
If I'm in it, I'm in it. I got feelings for it, I got emotions for it. Like maybe like 3 months ago when my lungs collapsed, I had a whole different perspective, because sometimes we think we know how everything is gonna play out.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then it takes that unexpected thing to happen to us to when we really feel like, so we really understand like we're not in control. We think we're in control, and that's why we say things like, man, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna do this. You don't really know if you're gonna be able to do all of those things, but we done tricked ourselves into believing that we in control. We really believe that we in control so much that when our alarm clock go off at 6 o'clock, we gonna wake up. But you don't know if you're gonna wake up or not.
You better say.
You really don't.
Better say.
So while you woke, do everything you can.
Yeah.
Like, today I was, making my delivery. I don't, let me go on and write me a story right now. Let me go ahead on and get my story out. I'm not putting it off, because I don't really know if that time is there. So let me go ahead on and do everything that I could do right now.
Yes.
And the minute we start putting everything on tomorrow, things don't get done.
Done.
They
You better
don't.
preach, man.
They don't. They don't. We just into tricking ourselves. That's all. I'm gonna change tomorrow. I'm gonna eat better tomorrow. Like when it comes to fitness and people be like, oh, I need my day where I could pig out at. So you don't. No, you
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
If you gonna do it, do it.
Yeah. You
Just,
ain't had to put your logo. Wait a minute, Eric. Hold on. You ain't had to put your logo up there, Queen Audrey. We see you.
yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
catch that, Eric? You caught that, right? You see how she did that?
What
She
she
don't
said?
know her logo up on the screen. You
Oh,
see
I
how
can't see it. I can't see it. I can't see it.
she
Yeah, but I really, really enjoy what we're doing right now. Like I really do, and I'm super glad that, it happened.
So let
Awesome.
me ask you something. When
Mhm,
when out of all this time you've been doing your stories,
mhm.
is it that one that got you in the gut? That what was that one that got you in the face?
Gosh, that's a hard question. One that really, really got me was where this girl, her and her child's father had got into it. So she set her child hand on fire, and she FaceTimed him so he could see, and the whole time she's burning the child hand, she's like, this is your fault. She's blaming the dad. This is your fault. So then she took the child and she started throwing him up in the car so his head could hit the ceiling. And the whole time she's doing it, she's blaming the father, saying like, if you wouldn't have cheated on me, this would have happened. And I just thought that it was so sad, that in her mind, she really believes that she's doing this because of him. And if that is true, that's a shame on you.
Mhm.
You know, you shouldn't love him. You know, it's just those type of things. Those are the type of things that I can't really process.
Right.
You know, to torture your child because the child's father's cheated on you. And if you was to really sit back and just think about this, you would probably think like, damn, he was cheating on me before I even had this baby.
Exactly.
Like if you was to just sit back and think, you'll be like, you know what? This really ain't nothing new. He been
Yeah.
doing it,
Yes.
you know, but
Exactly.
we in the moment. You know, we in the moment. We probably tricked ourselves into believing that
Look at my hair. He cut it all down. I just wanted to take.
hello?
Hold on, let me mute my
Okay.
sister. Okay, she mute. She in there.
The
She at the
screen. Oh, yeah, but we probably tricked ourselves into believing because we like to trick ourselves. So we probably tricked ourselves into believing that if I have this baby, you know, he not gonna cheat on me no more because now I got a baby.
Mm-hmm.
But a baby doesn't change a man.
Nope.
Marriage doesn't change a man either.
Nope.
You know, people are creatures of habit. You know, if we do something and get away with it,
They're
we
gonna
might
do it
try that again.
again. They're gonna do it again. Yeah.
Especially if the reward was pretty good and it was easy. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna try to do that again.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and especially if you're doing something and there's no consequences behind it,
Mm-hmm.
you're definitely gonna do it again.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, I know we having some good conversation, and I don't want to hold you too long.
Okay.
Eric, I want to ask one question. Like, if you had, no, I'm going to say this. Give a bit of wisdom to that single mother or that single father who have kids and maybe going through the throes with the other part, and give that wisdom to them for me tonight. And then tell them how they can reach you, how they can support you again. And put your, you have, you can put out there that they might want to donate to your cause and what you have going on. So give them all of that.
To a single father, a single mother that's going through it with the other partner, I would say kind of simply, it's bigger than you. You know, sometimes we get caught up in our own emotions. This person hurt me, you know, to the fact that you're not thinking about the child that's gonna need you. You know, so just remember that it's bigger than you. And if you truly love your child the way that you say you do, because people throw love around. And the minute I feel like when you stop looking at love as a word and look at it as an action,
That's right. That's right.
you'll begin to see like a lot of this stuff is not love.
Right.
You know, like I've heard somebody say, well, I might treat them like this because I love them. Love looks like love.
Right.
It looks like love, you know? And I just would say to that single father, like, you going, take your emotions out. That's easier said than done. I know that, you know, but you won't just be throwing your life away. You'll also be throwing your child's life away too.
Mm-hmm.
And man, life has a funny way of turning around.
Exactly.
You know, you don't know 10 years from now, a lot of things that I'm doing today, I couldn't imagine 10 years ago. You know, that woman that you know, into it with, or that man that you're in, 10 years from now, y'all might be back together. Y'all both probably just going through something. Sometimes people meet and they not ready for each other, but they try to force it and force it and force it, and then they become hating each other. But we all know some people that was together, broke up, and years later they got back together. You know, so it's just like, let's stop living in the moment. Social media got us, everybody living in the moment. We got to have this now. This have to change. No, things take time. Everything take time. You building your platform is gonna take time. Me building my platform is gonna take time. It's not gonna happen overnight.
Mhm. Yes.
And the same way you talking, the same way I'm talking with the amount of followers I have is, it's just like everything we got to stop rushing everything. And we got to treat people like people, treat
Yeah.
people with feelings. Everybody have feelings. We all have emotions. We have to start talking to people like they have emotions.
Yes. Yeah.
We treat people like doormats and think it's normal. You meet somebody with a bad attitude and people would say, oh, that's just how she is. That's not right though.
Right. Yes.
And maybe somebody needs to be the first one to say, hey, look, don't talk to me like that though. That's not okay with me. But I just say, let's just start looking at the bigger picture, and life is bigger than us. What I do is bigger than me. And I see that all the time when I see somebody who say, man, it was a person in Detroit or whatever. And they said, hey, the story you did about incest, it really touched me because my father, would rape me, and this went on for years and years and years or whatever. And, the only person that I could talk to about it was, his mother, which was her grandmother or whatever. And, her grandmother was just like, hey, this happened to me when I was your age. I had to learn how to deal with it. I had to get over it. That's what you have to do. You have to get over it. And we have to set up some kind of communication lines for people to talk to, for somebody, just to have somebody else to talk to get a different perspective. Because you are what you think you are. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Whatever you think of yourself, that's who you are. Exactly. Like the scripture says, so as a man thinketh is he.
So is he.
When you see people looking a certain way and act, that's what they think. And if you could change the way a person think, you could change them. And some people are really ready to change. We throw more people away, but it's a lot of people that really want to change. They don't know how to change. They don't know if they could, be open. They don't know if they're going to be judged or not.
Exactly.
But we have to start, we always talk about, like having conversations, but who's going to be the first one to have the conversation?
And you're hitting some key points with Hosanna, because that's how we've been able to thrive this long in South Florida with that whole, that whole comment right there. Transparency, open to talk, safety, accountability. We had, and I'm the founder. So what I did was, I knew in order for this to go the way it needs to go, I had to be transparent.
Right.
I can't sit here and tell you about incest, molestation, and rape if I've never been. I can't build an organization off of somebody else's story. I'm not an employee of the organization. I am the organization. I am the victim. I am the proof that you can come out of it. I am, so that's how we end up building the platform. And when I started speaking out, people was like, there she go again.
Yeah, that's how I know
you want to deal with it. Yeah. And you are 100% correct, because when it started, it was like I was getting doors closed in my face. Yeah. They'll slide up here and be like, I didn't want to say nothing, but that happened to me. That kind of thing.
There you go.
They want to do that. They want to be in my ear. But when I say, okay, what do you want to do? How are you going to move forward? And so I had to get in a space and say, I gotta figure out, am I bobbing and weaving, with these people? Am I gonna keep giving my ear, or I'm gonna move over here and get the
Right.
people who want to do something? Am I gonna keep letting you drown me with your story and no action? Or am I gonna get with the people over here and we finna do something? And so that's how we kept going. I would be on the platform or in the community, and I have, when the camera's out, Eric, I'm not lying. If I told them, because we've hosted several events and we have celebrities and different things who have been impacted or whatever, and they come out, when I put out that so-and-so is coming, oh, everybody on set, they ready. But then when I say I got work to do, I need you to put on your boots. We finna hit the streets. We finna do this. Sometimes it be me and the faithful few.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then when, they see you on the news or they see you on the in the paper or whatever, they got mad accolades for you. You know what I'm saying? But then when the work comes, that's what I'm saying. It's like when the work comes, the work ain't all that. The work is getting in the trenches, meeting people where they at, being able to provide them the help they need. I'm not saying we have all the tools to help them, but we have the connections of the other tools that can help him or help them. You know what I'm saying? So we may not have it all, but we got connections to get you to the places you need to go. But they don't want to do. They don't want to do. And I had to regroup and shake some things off and get out of my own emotions about that. Because like you say, you want family to support. You want friends to support. You want all that. But it don't work like that. Sometimes you got to ride alone, and you'll get some other people to jump in the wagon and go with you. You say, let's kick it. They ready. And
sometimes it's like it gets real. Like I learned how to do everything that I do with my videos by watching YouTube. And the guy that's doing the tutorials speak Chinese. So I'm just following his fingers as he, press certain buttons. And the way I found the apps that I use is I would look at I find people who kind of doing the same thing that I do. And if you don't pay for your app, they have the watermark. So I'm like, okay, I need to get that. And then I go to YouTube and I do that app and I put tutorial for beginners. And I started teaching myself how to do these things because I don't know anybody that make videos. I don't have no friends that could show me how to edit, how to do a transition, what frame size to put. I don't know. But again, this is something that I want. And I know where I want to go. So I'm about to find out everything that I need to find out about it.
Yeah.
These 5-minute videos sometimes take 3 hours to do.
Right.
But we all know if it's something you want to do, you don't care about that.
Yeah.
I don't care how long it takes.
Now, Eric, you got to do your intro for me.
You're killing.
I don't forget nothing. You got to do the intro for me.
All right, I got you.
So, I mean, wait. Where did you even? I mean, what made you? How did you get to that intro? Like, how did you know?
I started off doing my videos in my truck, in my work truck.
Right, I used to see you.
Yeah, I started off just doing them, and I just wanted to scare people to get their attention. Like, ha! Like I just wanted them to be like, what? I just wanted to get, I just wanted to get their attention, and that's another thing too, though. That's why I tell people, you don't need a lot of stuff. Like, and I think you said it's about content. All I had was an iPhone 3. That's it. No ring, people think, oh, I need a ring light. Oh, I need a microphone. Oh, I need the new iPhone. No, you don't need none of that stuff. And that's all I had was my phone, and I just wanted to get their attention. And that's it. And I think I'm getting it. I think I'm getting their attention.
You got it. You ain't getting it. You got it, Eric. You got it. Believe me. I
Yeah.
mean, you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, whoa. And I know the way things are set up for me. You
Mhm.
know, this is just the beginning. I'll see you and you're gonna be like, that's you. I ain't tall at all. I ain't tall at all, but you're gonna be like, that's you. I'm like, yeah, Eric, I told you we gonna see each other.
Yeah.
I actually supposed to be in I'm supposed to be in Dallas in July.
Okay.
So I don't know what part yet, but I'll hit you up and be like, how far you are from here so I can
Let
meet
me
you in
know.
person.
Let me know. Let me know. Let me
Do
know.
you ever do any drives to Florida?
No, I only think I've been to Florida once in my life.
Really?
But if your organization got anything going on, like hit me up. I'll come down and support. That's what I
That's
do.
what's up, Eric. That's
That's
what's
what I
up.
do.
Okay.
So just like you say, keep in touch. You got my number.
Yeah.
You know, don't be a stranger.
And I'm on your line. I'm on your Facebook at Eric J Street News. I'm
Yeah.
on Instagram at Eric J Street News. I'm watching you moving. I'm watching the growth. And all I wish for you is nothing but blessings on top of blessings. Stay alert, stay informed, and continue to provide your information, because what you do is intricate. It's awesome. It's an intricate part of everybody that we need. You know, we need to hear that the way we're trying to go, somebody believes in it. Somebody got focus. Somebody got direction. So with the wisdom you put out, and this on Nothing But Love, the wisdom you put out is something that some people don't even get to hear. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody's having that type of conversation. Forget the content. I'm talking about the wisdom, the guidance. So with that, I'm saying to you, keep pushing, keep delivering, keep giving. You understand what I'm saying? You got people all the way in South Florida sitting back going, whoa. You understand? So I'm letting you know I'm here just the same as you said for Hosanna. Hosanna for Youth is my baby. And I'm glad to say I got another supporter over in Texas that's, all for it. So I thank you. I thank you so much for even giving us a chance to have you on our platform. It's an honor.
Thank you. And I'm about to put you on my platform as soon as you send it to me.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank all
Have
y'all.
a good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good
Bye.
night.